Well, joining us this morning once again to help us as part of our My Empowerment series, we welcome back the wonderful Boaz. He is here to share his practical advice and help us improve our daily lives. Good to have you back again, Boaz.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited about this segment, and I have to tell you why. I have three children, three boys under the age of 9. They are not only the loves of my life, but I know that empowering them, making them feel positive, making them feel good about themselves really is probably my biggest job as their mom. And you believe that when it comes to our kids, it's all about self-image and making sure they have a positive self-image. But I think that's probably a big problem these days. Wouldn't you say? What can we do to make sure that our kids get on the right track? And why do you think it is that the self-image of most kids today really isn't as positive as it could be?
Absolutely, Danielle. Now, you have been to one of my seminars, and you know I promote a couple of specific books, and one of them is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, written a long time ago, 1935, and still totally applicable today. And Dale Carnegie in that book says the most precious thing any one of us has, you, me, your kids, is our self-image. It's the way we see ourselves. Because the way I see myself is the way I'm going to act. And people don't realize that the self-image is being formed when children are young, like the ages of your kids.
Sure.
And most people are saying things to their kids that they don't understand have an impact that can last a lifetime. I was at a shopping center a couple of years ago, walking up to the main building, and I see a mom and a dad coming out of a van, and the mother hollers at a child in the van, "You get out here. You always make us late. You always make us late." She keeps telling that child long enough, that child will grow up with a self-image that says, I cause problems.
I cause problems. I think that's such an unfortunate thing. It really is. And I know from my experience with my kids, the words I say to them and what they hear coming out of my mouth resonate with them, and they're very powerful. Do you think that parents, that we tend to know how much power and how much significance we have in terms of shaping these beautiful little minds?
No, no. Again, if a parent tells a child long enough, you keep doing that, you'll end up in trouble one day. How many times have we heard that? You keep doing that, you'll end up in trouble one day. The child will not disappoint. They will end up in trouble.
Words affect.
Words become our realities. So I teach in my seminars that words are previews of things to come. You know, we go to the movies, they show us previews. They're not just toying with us. Those movies are really coming. But if I say to a child, you goofed up again, you never do your homework, those are words that become the child's reality.
All right, so we have talked about positive affirmations. What is the difference then between a positive affirmation and a negative affirmation?
It's very simple. We're all declaring affirmations every day.
Right.
I'm no good at this. I can't manage money. I'm not a good parent. Those are all affirmations, powerful ones, but in the wrong direction. But to a child, I see you. I see you can do this. You're talented. You're capable. Those are positive affirmations that build up.
Right. All right, so let's put this then in practical terms. My kids got their report card. Let's say they received a bad grade. They didn't. My kids got all A's and B's, but there were a couple of areas that one of my sons can improve upon. I know he can do better. He got a great report card. How should I respond in terms of, you did amazing, but I know you can do better, and keep it positive?
Exactly. The first thing to do is to get rid of the word you just used, but.
Okay.
When you say the word but, you have just negated everything you just said that was good.
That is true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So we change but to and.
I got you.
It's all the difference in the world. And too often a child gets 4 A's and a C. We're going to focus on the C. And we don't realize the great accomplishments that were in the A's, and we're tearing all of that down. So instead of saying, what happened? What happened? I told you, you just didn't study enough. That's why you got a C there. We are tearing the self-image down. So instead, my suggestion, and it works beautifully, is to say to the child, I know you'll do better in the one you got a C in.
I love that. So
I know you'll do better. That builds them back up. Give people a good name to live up to rather than a bad one to live down to. And then something else, Danielle, that you can add at that moment. So they've come, they're disappointed. They don't want to disappoint you. I mean, they got the A's, but they got the C. So saying, I know you'll do better in that one course. I see it in you. You are a champion. Let's go have a cookie.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, let me tell you, cookies cost money.
I
so
understand.
What we do is we give our kids an allowance. Let them buy their own cookies sometimes.
There you go. Okay, bring your own cookies next time.
All right, but let me ask you, is an allowance a good thing or a bad thing?
I think in essence, a bad thing.
Really?
Yes, if it's looked at just as an allowance, because what do most people do? They just give their kids some money every week. And kids get used to then to what we call entitlements. I get money every week. I suggest give them a job. Give them a job at home. Take out the trash, clean their room, do their homework, and then they get paid at the end of the week. So they start equating with effort turns into money. Effort turns into money, because if they only get money for nothing, then they grow up thinking that people owe them. Now, I know we talked about it. You have 3 kids. What do you do with your kids?
They have to work. I mean, literally, they have to work for their allowance. They have to do chores, take out the trash, clean up their rooms, make sure their homework is done, and things like that. So they do have to work for it. But then I think, okay, so are there some child labor laws that are maybe coming to effect?
Danielle, in your house, you are the labor law.
All right.
You are it.
I am the labor law.
You are the labor
I like
law.
that. Okay.
The point, and you also, and I know we talked about it, you do it, and it's beautiful, but most people don't, is teach them to save a portion of the money they earn on their job
that's great.
at home. Because if there is no savings, then they just get used in the future, whatever I make, I spend. And open a savings account for them. We talked about it. Get them to get a passbook. Each week they go deposit, add to the number, and say, this is for your future.
So at the end of the day, then, a reward can properly motivate our children.
Exactly.
Love it. So some great advice again for you. I'm going to take that home and use it tonight, as a matter of fact, on my kids.
Exactly. And one other thing that people can do is make a sign that says, every day I play like a champion.
I have that sign.
You made the sign after my seminar. And what do you do at your house with the sign?
Every day those boys go by and they hit that sign and say, every day I play like a champion.
And they're making an impression in their mind that will last a lifetime. And then when you say to them, when they have a difficult moment, I see it in you. You are a champion. You're reinforcing what they're doing every day by touching the sign.
Oh, I love it. Well, some great advice once again, Boaz. Thank you so much for sharing it with our viewers.
A pleasure, Danielle.
And be sure to keep watching our My Empowerment series with Boaz for more of his positive advice. And you can also subscribe to his weekly Power Notes by visiting thebalancingact.com and clicking on the Boaz link. By doing so, you will also receive his daily success formula for free.